Hi everybody, welcome back to Marie's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're making 5 air fryer favorites. I got a comment recently from Dennis, I think, and he said, Marie, I'm just looking for air fryer recipes that actually work. And I just thought, aren't we all? So I can promise you these recipes work. They're also easy and delicious. I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get started. Okay, to start, we're gonna make easy egg cups. And for that, you'll need one of these silicone 4-cup muffin containers. I can put a link in the description box for these. I got a 3-pack and man, are they so useful. I do have a video coming up with recipes just for the muffin cups. I can't wait to share that one with you too. So first up, because it is silicone, you don't need to grease it or anything. We're just gonna take 4 eggs and crack those right into our little muffin cups. Next, we'll need heavy cream, and for that, it's just 2 teaspoons heavy cream right on top of the egg. And yes, you're seeing it correctly. We're not going to whisk the eggs. We keep them whole. And I know it sounds a little crazy, but they are really good. Next is a little sprinkle of grated cheese. Then we can do a little freshly ground pepper and a little tiny bit of salt. And that's it. Now these are ready to go in the air fryer. All right, my air fryer is an Instant Pot brand. It's the Vortex Plus and it's 6 quart. I think it's great for us for a family of 4. It would also be just as good for 1 or 2. So we'll just open the basket like this. And then truly the hardest part is setting this because it's a little wobbly, but we'll just set those in there. It's okay if it spills a little. And then we'll gently shut the air fryer. And then we'll set it to air fry, 350 degrees. And we're gonna set that for 10 minutes. With this particular air fryer, after about a minute, it'll start beeping at you and say to add food. Just ignore that. We've already added the food. That is just this particular air fryer does this little preheat function, but just ignore that. I don't preheat my air fryer. I just put the food right in. All right, I'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Okay, these are done. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, they look incredible. Look how nice, and the cheese is all melted and a little toasty on top. They're sizzling. They just look so good. And I am going to use a dish towel to take out the little muffin container. It does have handles, but unfortunately the handles get hot. So use a little hand towel to get that out. And don't they look delicious? I'll have to let these cool a minute before I cut into one, but they look great. The house smells great. And I really hope you get to try these. All right, I'm going to set these aside and let it cool for about 10 minutes. Okay, next step is Brussels sprouts. And even if you didn't like Brussels sprouts growing up, these are air fried, so they're really, really crispy and they've got the best flavor, and we fight over them here at home. I have to sometimes make 2 bags. My kids love them, my husband hates them, but just ignore that. I love them and my kids love them. So I just got the 1-pound bag from Trader Joe's. They're washed and ready to go. And then I trim the end off and then cut them in half. All right, now we'll just drizzle with some olive oil, or if you have an olive oil sprayer, that works great too. I do put kind of a lot of olive oil on these because I like them when they're really crispy. Of course, that's up to you. Now for these, we'll just throw these right in the basket. We can kind of give it a shake. And then we'll air fry these at 350 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes. So I'll do 17, and then at about 15, I'll check them. All right, that's it. All right, let's see if we can try the eggs while the Brussels sprouts are finishing up over there. I'm just gonna run my knife gently around the outside and then kind of press on the bottom, and we'll lift up our little cup here, set it out. Don't those look delicious? What a great high protein breakfast, grab and go. So let's cut into one. I'll just cut right through this one. So you can see how the yolk looks inside. It stays in its place. All right, let's have a taste. Oh my God. It is shockingly good. I cannot wait for you to try this. Now we're halfway through the Brussels sprouts, so this is where you want to shake it. You'll just pull out the drawer. You can see how crispy and beautiful they're already getting. We're just gonna give that a shake like that. If you wanna add a little more olive oil, you can. All right, these go back in for the remaining 5 minutes. All right, well, those are cooking. Let's move on to our next easy vegetable, which is cauliflower. And this is another favorite that will go in a flash. My kids both love it, and I do too. So we fight over it. Oh, one thing I'll show you, if you have some big florets in your bag, this is a 12-ounce container. What I usually do, honestly, to break up the florets is this. You don't want to bang it too much because you don't want to have a lot of tiny little pieces because that'll just fall through the cracks. And if you don't want to hit it, you can just break them off or, use your knife. Okay, these are ready. Yum. Look how nice and crispy those are. This is kind of how the restaurants do it, and they're just so delicious. And then from there, we can just add a little salt to it. Kind of a lot of salt because Brussels sprouts are bitter and the salt kind of offsets it. The way I really love to eat them is with a sriracha yogurt sauce. And so you can take your plain Greek yogurt, a little bit of salt, and then some sriracha. It's a nice spicy sauce, so you just want to add a little bit of that in there and then give that a stir. And then you just take your Brussels sprout, dip it in the sauce. Perfection. Oh my gosh. How do we do it? And the great thing is you're getting this wonderful vegetable. With this, you're getting some Greek yogurt, so good bacteria, calcium, protein. Another option is to do a teriyaki glaze. And this, I don't believe is gluten-free, but there may be options out there that are. My kids love this teriyaki sauce on Brussels sprouts and on the cauliflower. So always have one of these in the fridge. Another option is to do a balsamic glaze, which is like a balsamic reduction. And you can drizzle that on with goat cheese and walnuts. Incredible. So there's lots of ways to enjoy these, and I'm just really excited. All right, moving on to the next dish. Next step is our cauliflower that we pounded into florets. We'll just add that to the air fryer and then a good drizzle of olive oil on this. Now this goes in the air fryer. Now we'll air fry these at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. And again, we'll shake halfway through like with the Brussels sprouts. Okay. Cauliflower's done. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, it looks great. It's amazing how it shrinks down so much. It's like spinach, like there's hardly any left. Now, one thing you do want to be careful with this particular air fryer is that this tray can fall out. So when you're dumping things out of the basket, you want to hold this in with something because it is hot. So hold it in with something so it doesn't fall out and burn you on the arm, because that has definitely happened to me. Oh man, cauliflower, when it gets really nice and brown and crispy and sweet, oh, it just has the best flavor. For the cauliflower, same thing here. You can serve it with the sriracha yogurt, is delicious. Or again, the teriyaki sauce is my kid's favorite. So I'm just gonna pour some out here. And then this is ready to enjoy. Cauliflower, roasted cauliflower with a teriyaki glaze. Now, in between cooking different foods, you do want to probably either wipe or rinse it out. And that's it. So easy to clean as well. And now let's get started on the next dish. We are making air fryer meatballs. And these are, again, family favorite. I make them probably once a week. For the meatballs, we'll start with a medium bowl and then 1/4 cup panko. And this is actually the gluten-free panko. So look for that in your grocery store if you're looking for a gluten-free option. Next is 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese, finely grated. Then we'll add 2 tablespoons milk, 1 egg. That was a 1/2 teaspoon garlic. Now we're adding the salt. So it's a 1/2 teaspoon salt as well. And then some freshly ground black pepper. Pretty easy, right? Now we'll just stir this up. And next we'll add 1 pound lean ground beef. And now I'll just mix this together with my hands. This is a great thing to do on Sunday. Meatballs are one of my favorites for storing in the freezer and having for later. Okay, then we'll just take these and shape them into meatballs. Hello, kitty. Hello, Cookie. I don't know if y'all have met my other 2 pets. We have 2 cats, Muffin and Cookie. Muffin is about 13 and she is the type of cat that will kind of corral you when it's time to eat. And she likes to stay up all night and then sleep all day. So kind of a party girl. Okay, the meatballs are done. We made 12 and now we're ready to put them in the air fryer. Set our meatballs right in there, and with 12, they all fit in at once, which is nice. Okay, we've got our meatballs in the basket. So we'll push it to air fry, change the temperature to 375, and then set the time to 10 minutes. On these, when I make these air fryer shows with dishes back to back to back to back, people always ask, well, aren't the eggs gonna be cool by the time the meatballs are done? Yes, they will. So these are just ideas to make in the air fryer. And when you're making, say, the meatballs in the air fryer, don't also make the cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts. Instead, make a salad, make something on the stove. Just do one thing in the air fryer, maybe 2 per meal. That way you won't get backlogged and have everything be cool. Okay, the meatballs are done. Oh, they look fantastic. Nice and crispy on top, nice and browned, and so easy. There's no mess. I do not like doing meatballs on the stove where the grease gets everywhere. So this is so convenient. For the meatballs, I like to serve them with the Rayo's vodka sauce or marinara sauce. Really delicious. So you can just pour that right in a little Dutch oven like this, and then add our meatballs. And this is such a great weeknight dinner. There she is. There's Gracie. So there are our meatballs. They look amazing. And once they kind of soak in the sauce, the flavor gets even better. Garnish with Parmesan and basil. Serve this with pasta, or what I really love to do is take a zucchini, just trim the end here, and then make some zucchini noodles. You don't need a spiralizer. Just cut some noodles like this. Then you take these zucchini noodles, put them in a saucepan, saute them with a little garlic and olive oil till they're just nice and soft. Then serve that with your meatballs. It's really, really wonderful. If it's just 1 or 2 of you at home and you want to kind of pre-portion some of these out, just take your container, add some marinara sauce, 1, 2, 3 meatballs, whatever you want. Pop this in the freezer. And you can thaw it the night before or when you're ready to eat lunch, and that's just so handy to have in the freezer. It's a lifesaver on really busy days, so keep this in mind. Okay, now for the 5th recipe, the best recipe. We're making chocolate chip cookies in the air fryer, and this is also a small batch recipe. So first step, it's 1 cup flour plus 1 tablespoon. Next is 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and then 1/4 teaspoon salt. Just gonna give this a quick whisk. For the wet ingredients, we have 1/2 cup light brown sugar, 1/4 cup granulated sugar, 1 egg, and then we need 1 teaspoon vanilla. Now we'll give this a good whisk. That looks great, nice and smooth, sugar's dissolved. Then we can add 5 tablespoons melted butter, unsalted, and we'll whisk that in. And now we'll add our dry ingredients. And you want to mix that just to combine. Once it starts to come together, you can go ahead and add your chocolate chips. This is 3/4 cup. Okay, now we're just scooping out the dough. If y'all are still watching, you're such a trooper. Thank you so much for sticking around. To let me know that you're still watching, comment something like cookie, and that way I can make sure to thank you personally. I know these air fryer videos are long sometimes, but I really appreciate y'all watching. Okay, now because we are cooking these in the air fryer, we want to flatten them down just a little bit. So you can put a little butter, water on your hands, and then just flatten those down like that. Okay, now to cook them in the air fryer, I am going to use one of these perforated parchments. So what you want to do is just fold it about in half and then cut out the center here, a little hole in the center, like that. And then what that's going to do, it's going to fit over this little thing right here on the tray. And the reason we do that is because when you're cooking cookies in the air fryer, if you don't have this way to pull the tray up, it's really hard to get the cookies out. It's hard to get a spatula under without them falling apart. The other option would be to make like a foil sling, and then you can pull that whole thing out. So 2 ways, 2 options. Now let's go ahead and add our cookies. I'm gonna cook about 4 at a time. So we're gonna cook that at 300 degrees for 12 to 14 minutes. Okay, the cookies are done. Pull them out using my little method here. So I'm just gonna grab this with my tongs and carefully lift out the whole tray. Now we can let these cool for a few minutes and then move them over to a wire rack. Also, just a note, you can cook these in the oven, and I'll put directions for that as well. Okay, so look at this amazing spread of food that we made today in the air fryer. We made our easy egg cups, so delicious for breakfast or a high protein snack. We made our crispy Brussels sprouts with a sriracha yogurt sauce, so incredible. Then we made our roasted cauliflower and served that with a teriyaki sauce. We also made meatballs. Can you believe it? Meatballs here with a marinara sauce. And as a serving suggestion, we have the zoodles. And then finally, the cookie. I can't wait to try one. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's still soft and warm. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Got all that chocolate in there. It's soft, it's chewy. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my gosh. That cookie is perfection. The air fryer, the way it cooks, it kind of crisps up the outside, and then you have this ultra chewy kind of gooey center. It's amazing. Real quick, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you can find the hype button, hit the hype button. That's a way to give my channel even more exposure, and I really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe. I've got lots more videos coming up, and I don't want you to miss any of them. For these recipes and more, head over to my website, mariesaba.com. There you can go and print out this recipe and all of these recipes. Put them in a notebook and make your very own Marie's Kitchen cookbook for free. Also, I will have the recipes with the times and temperatures in the description box below, so check there. If you don't see it on my website, it takes me a couple weeks to get all the recipes up to the site. There's Gracie. We didn't hear from... Oh my gosh! That was amazing. I felt like I had to applaud her. Where was I? Just thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for your support. I appreciate it more than you know. I hope you learned that with the right ingredients and the right techniques, making all kinds of air fryer favorites is easier than you think. See you next time.